The news across Nigeria, where we inform you on what's happening now across the Nigerian Federation. I'm Olumide Macaulay. On today's program, Nigerians mark World Malaria Day, march to end malaria permanently, in consonance with the World Health Organization's 2016 theme. The federal government steps up activities to ensure food security as the central bank supports funding of agricultural projects. And controversy over the figures presented by Amnesty International and that of the medical officer from the Nigerian Army Medical Unit on the number of those allegedly killed in the Army Shiite clash in Zaria, Kaduna State. And we begin in the southwestern region of the country. The first in the series of the federal government town hall meetings is going on in Lagos State, Nigeria's southwest. The town hall meetings, which is expected to hold in 6 geopolitical zones and 3 other cities, Lagos and Kano. The town halls have begun with Lagos, with 6 of the President ministers in today's meetings. Those in attendance are the Information Minister, Lai Mohammed, and that of Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, the Minister of State for Petroleum, Ibe Kachiku, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Geoffrey Onyama, the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Dr. Kechukwu Enelama, and Minister for Transportation, Chibuke Amechi. Mr. Fashola told the gathering during his presentation that the 5,000 megawatts currently being generated is inadequate to address the nation's power problems. The Power Minister also believes that these problems can be surmounted. On his part, the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Dr. Kechukwu Enelama, says that the follow-up on the China trip embarked on by the President will be very intense and that the President has given his cabinet the mandate to deliver. The World Health Organization, the WHO, says that about 3.2 billion people remain at risk to malaria attack globally. Now, the WHO report released today on World Malaria Day is entitled Eliminating Malaria, says that in 2015 alone, 214 new cases of malaria, that is 214 million new cases of malaria, were reported in 95 countries, and no fewer than 400,000 people died of malaria. The Global Technical Strategy for Malaria 2016 to 2030, approved by the World Health Assembly in 2005, calls for the elimination of local transmission of malaria in at least 10 countries by 2020. The WHO estimate shows that 21 countries are in a position to achieve this goal, including 6 countries in the African region, while the burden of the disease is heaviest. Now, Nigerians today joined the other parts of the Nigerians all over the nation joined their counterparts, but we'll go straight now to the Ministry of Agriculture, Chief Audu Ogbe, who has condemned the huge importation of rice, saying it's a contributing factor to the dwindling economy. The minister made this known during an assessment tour of the dry season farmers' anchor barrows program in Kebbi State, insisting that Nigeria must become self-sufficient. The governor of the central bank, Godwin Emefiele, who was also on the tour, says Nigeria has the capacity to cultivate wheat and rice for the nation's consumption if the program is adequately sustained.
It's no longer news that the fall in the price of oil has affected most economies, and the only option they have is to diversify. Nigeria is no exception. One of the steps the federal government has taken is through its CBN Anchor Borrowers Program to boost food production and also reduce unemployment, which was launched in 2015. The CBN governor believes Nigeria can cultivate and produce rice and wheat that should be enough even for exportation.
This is just a pilot phase which we decided to conduct in Kebbi State. Under this program, we had 78,000 farmers that benefited from the Anchor Borrower programs. All we gave them was just a maximum of 210,000 naira to cultivate a hectare of land. And you all heard it when one of the farmers was talking. He says by the end of this year, Kebbi State alone will be able to produce 1 million metric tons of rice for Nigeria.
According to statistics, Nigerians consume about 5.5 million tons of rice annually, of which 3.6 million tons are locally produced, mostly by farmers for personal consumption. Currently, the nation spends about 365 billion naira per year importing the remaining 1.9 million tons. That's because local production is unable to satisfy the huge demand for rice in Nigeria, a situation the Minister of Agriculture is not pleased with.
Nigeria's need now is 7 million tons. We need only 7 other states to do the same. The extra we can export. Why are we spending $5 million a day importing rice? $5 million a day importing rice from Thailand and Vietnam. What is it they can do, we can do? That's how we ran this country bankrupt. Excessive, almost mindless importation. Toothpicks, pencils, erasers, rubber bands, handkerchiefs, envelopes, champagne, red wine, for God's sake. Now, what do we do with our time? We're almost 200 million people. This is the point.
The amount spent on importation of rice from India and Thailand has been on the increase over the years. And if government keeps giving farmers the necessary support, Nigeria may well be on its way to self-sufficiency in this area.
You're watching news across Nigeria. Coming up, Ekiti doctors on a protest.